Welcome to All Hitches, America's favorite Nova football podcast. Coach Mesa, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm all right. I felt a little bit like a hacksaw Jim Duggan today, so I figured I drop the hair down. Tough guy.
I was thinking my man right here.
Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
I love Jimmy Snuka before the whole, controversy he had later on in life, but I love Snuka. We're gonna gloss right over Jimmy Snuka controversies later.
Yeah.
Him and Roddy Piper had some wars, buddy. They had some wars.
Tonga Kid, maybe?
Tonga Kid. Oh, man.
Tonga Kid, maybe?
Haku?
Haku didn't have long hair.
No, I'm just naming my favorite Islanders now. Haku.
Oh.
Ming. You go Ming or Haku?
I mean, he's Haku. He was Haku as the Islanders, man.
Yeah, he was Ming like a WCW later on.
Yeah.
He actually works in Tampa. My older brother lives in Tampa. And Ming is manages a general manager of a car dealership. I think a Toyota car dealership.
Oh, hopefully he doesn't bite off anybody's noses. Hopefully he's done doing that.
Dude, that's a tough son of a gun, man.
One of the only guys Andre the Giant was afraid of, right?
Yes.
Right? All of them, right? If you watch those old wrestling things, they talk about all the time how they call him Ming, but they were like, that's the one guy you did not want to fight.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. Definitely the real deal.
Yeah, anyone who knows, if you know, you know, right? And if you're a wrestling fan, there was two or three guys. One was Harley Race, one was Ming, and the other was actually Bad News Brown. People didn't mess around.
Bad News Brown. Bad News Brown. That's another Andre the Giant story, right?
Yes.
Let's get off the bus, fight.
Yes, dude, I love that stuff. I love old wrestling stories, man. That's good stuff.
Bad News Brown, the original Stone Cold Steve Austin, right?
Yeah, dude, he was awesome.
No friends, didn't have any friends. The black gloves, the black trunks.
Tough as nails. Nails. Well, buddy, this is it. Week 1 is upon us. It is time to get down to action.
It's like Christmas Eve, right?
It really is like Christmas Eve. It really is.
Can't wait to go downstairs. And open your gifts and see what's going on, right?
All the presents are waiting for us, nicely wrapped on Thursday night. And it's just a smorgasbord of great presents,
Yeah, it definitely is that time of year. Next week should be a lot cooler. This week might be a little bit on the toasty side for the games this weekend, but
that's a good point. I hope you hope the teams are preparing for that, packing that mustard, packing that pickle juice. You could be seeing some cramps.
100%, 100%, yeah.
And there'll probably be a heat advisory tomorrow. That's probably going to hurt teams that are trying to get out of a practice at some point, depending on how long that heat advisory lasts.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. That's a thing.
Oh.
I mean, the heat advisories could be in effect for the walkthroughs and stuff. So, I mean, I hope that doesn't impact the teams trying to get outside, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now with boys volleyball playing, right? So now you got multiple gyms full, and not a lot of space, especially if you don't have. I mean, some of those secondary schools have a really large gym, so maybe they might be able to get their walk in.
That's a good point. I hadn't even thought about that. That's a really good point, actually, with volleyball.
Yeah.
Man, that could impact some people. So real quick, couple of things to get to before we get into the games, the breakdowns of some of the games.
Yeah.
There was some news at Woodson this week. People have probably heard about it. Coach Henderson decided to step down.
Yeah.
On Monday afternoon, stepped down.
Yeah.
Personal reasons. I'm not going to get into all that. And stepping in for the remainder of the season.
Yeah.
The coach Eric Pilson.
Yeah. Both friends of ours. Both of them friends of ours.
Yep.
It's tough when you have a friend going through some things. We're hoping the best for him, but we're really hopeful for Coach Pilson. We like him a lot. Did some good things at Lewis, right?
Coach Pilson did some great things at Lewis. Took him to the playoffs a couple times. Sent some kids to the Division I level. Play football. So he did some things, and he's been a loyal soldier at Woodson.
Yeah. For
the last 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
So I think some of the kids are kind of excited. And kind of not probably the way that anybody wanted or expected it. But I think people are just kind of trying to get the most out of it and just hoping that things go well, and they're rooting for him. I think everyone's rooting for Coach Pilson, and I'm rooting for Coach Pilson too.
Yeah, no, in the building. Luckily for Woodson, he has a bunch of head coaching experience, and I'm sure he's going to be locked in and ready to go. I mean, I'm excited to see what what Coach Post was able to do this year. Short. I mean, we talked about the coaches at Langley had a short. I mean, Coach Pilson has 2 days.
Yeah, man.
Try to get those guys ready to go. But
and that's when it does help to have coaches on your staff who are experienced, who've been around the block. Things could happen at any time to anybody for any reason, at any school. And it's nice to have, a wingman, someone who can kind of step in, who's been through the trenches and, that kind of thing. And Pilson's that guy. He's definitely that guy.
So we wish him all luck here from the Nova podcast crew.
That's right. Most of you guys. Now, getting down to business, my friend. We got a slate of games. They look fantastic. I can't wait to kind of get through it. I guess you and I kind of went through, and we had some people write on the comments last pod, and they kind of gave us some ideas for games of the week. We jotted those down, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, we took a look. We actually commented on it. Every time you comment, we try to comment back. We try to interact with everybody out there who's listening, and we got some really good leads. On some games. Yeah. Gave us a chance to kind of take a look at games that we thought might be the marquee matchups just this week, just based on. That's going to change because now real football is getting played, right? People are going to have real records. We're not going to be looking at, projected last year. These things are going to change, but I think these games, I think we picked some good ones. I think we picked some good ones to kind of go over this week.
Yeah, no, I think so too. And I mean, just looking at the slate, I'm enjoying my post-dinner Nespresso. I'm a big Nespresso guy. I am. I am. And if I could pick one sponsor of the show, it'd be Nespresso coffee. I love my Nespresso coffee.
Are you trying to get a sponsorship? Is that what you're trying to do?
You know what? I should reach out to Nespresso. Hey, I mean, we're drinking a lot of coffee and we're staying up and watching games. So why not get the coffee, sponsor? Right? Good little move.
There you go.
Good little move. But yeah, I'm excited about this game. So we're going to go down this 5 or 6 games that you and I kind of handpicked and some other people kind of voted on. And then after we kind of go to the what we deemed kind of the 5, 6, kind of big ones, even though they're all big, we're going to we are going to do a kind of a, little primer and go over all of them real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Well, so let's start here, buddy. Let's get into it. Right on our list. First one happens to be Mount Vernon at West Potomac. Oh, I'm sorry. Away team. Sorry. My bad. I read it wrong. West Potomac at Mount Vernon.
Yeah. I think that has a chance to be the game of the week. I mean, that game last year was really good, right? Mount Vernon built an early lead. West Potomac and storming back. That was the rain game, right, where we all had to sit inside for about 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And, the quarterback you like a lot, Grimsley? Hunter Grimsley?
Yeah, man.
Hunter Grimsley. He looks really good. The receiver.
I do like him. He looks like a young Deshaun Watson out there, prime Deshaun Watson, just running around, making plays, can throw from the pocket. He can kind of do a little bit.
Yeah. And when good throwing to that receiver, why does that name escape me? Is it Moret? I think it's Moret.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. I mean, those two. And then on the other side, now he's not on defense, but on the other side, that wide receiver they have from West Potomac.
Yeah.
I mean, this got last year was a low scoring game. I think this year the script is flipped. I think this is going to be a really high scoring game. Now, this is no disrespect to their defenses, but I think you've got two dynamic playmakers right at wide receiver, which would be really fun to watch. And this is traditionally a rivalry game, right? This is a
battle of the highway.
Yeah. Now there's 0-0, so we really can't throw out the records, but. Throughout this is one where you throw out the records because these two schools, I'm sure there's not a lot of love lost between Mount Vernon and West Potomac.
That is a rivalry game. You're right, and I remember Coach talking to us about that the last couple of years. He coached at West Potomac for a long time, and that's a legit rivalry game. And it was a storm. And history could repeat itself because I have a feeling it might storm a lot on Thursday. Now they are calling for storms. Hopefully early in the day. Right now, looking at the hourly, it's going to be earlier in the day. But there is that chance that it could impact, the evening games. So I wonder if we're going to see kind of a repeat of we did a year ago. Yeah, no,
I mean, it could happen. I've only been in Northern Virginia for about 4 years, but I have learned that Northern Virginia's weather, especially this late summertime, is really unpredictable.
Yeah, I mean, no, it really is.
You've been here a while. I mean, what I've heard the saying about other places, but they said if you don't like the weather in Northern Virginia, just wait a couple minutes.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, and remember West Potomac with the quarterback, kind of coming back. He was kind of getting his feet wet last year. And now he's kind of, he started the whole season just about. They got the weapons. Then you got Mount Vernon with their weapons. I mean, I agree with you. This really could be a shootout.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like I will be watching it. I'm sure I'm going to throw it up on the NFHS after we watch our game live on Friday when we hang out at the game. We're going to be hanging out yet. But I think for sure, this is a game for sure. I'll be watching and
Thursday. Don't forget Thursday, buddy.
Thursday. That's right.
At the 4-day weekend.
4-day weekend. Yeah. Is there anything better than a 4-day weekend? I guess
5-day weekend. Summer break.
Yes.
Well, and we're going to get into, kind of some of the predictions and that kind of stuff a little bit later on.
Yeah.
Next game up on the Fab Five, I guess, of games we kind of picked out. South County hosting Robinson. Let me tell you something. This is an old school heavyweight matchup.
Yeah.
Now I know SoCo, won the conference last year, and they're still heavyweights. Robinson kind of rebuilding a little bit, only in Coach Blair's second year. But still, this is a heavyweight matchup. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I think it's going to be exciting. The Scaparetto brothers, right? Mm-hmm. Are they? What are they going to look like in year 2 under Coach Blair?
Yeah.
Should be really interesting. They're switching around that offense a little bit, while still kind of ground and pound, but little different schemes for them, right?
Yep.
And then with South County, so now you have Scaparetto brothers on offense, Mike Leckie on defense, right?
Oh man, he's coming at you, man. Whatever he hits, he destroys. I told you that. This guy's out of Chicago. And he's looking for Balboa and the Scaparettos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's coming after him.
And South County, led by the veteran coach Pannoni.
Yeah.
And he was not I mean, obviously last season not in the way it's got to leave a bad taste in that whole staff's mouth, right?
Yep.
The way their season ended for them last year. And I saw something on maybe the NFL Network. I think it was Tom Brady talking and said the thing about that though is that every team has to start at the bottom of the mountain again, right? And you have to crawl your way back up.
That's true. That's true.
So I think it should be pretty interesting.
So things that I'm looking for in that one, you mentioned Robinson. Yeah, the Robinson defense is what I'm looking. I'm looking at the Robinson defense. It looks solid.
Yeah, they looked really good. Right? They did look really good.
And how are they going to do? And then South County's going with the young quarterback, the sophomore, at least what we think going into this game. Now, if they, maybe they have some senior we didn't know about, but in the offseason we were told they had a good sophomore quarterback. They're building around him. He's the next, big South County guy at quarterback. How's he going to handle the tough Robinson defense? If they can shut down the run and make him throw to beat them, it could get interesting. Could get really interesting.
Yeah. And watching the games, I was pretty impressed with it. I mean, I think you saw them too. That Robinson defense looks pretty formidable. I mean,
it does.
Discipline. I mean,
it does.
I think we were both impressed with them. And with South County, they had the same quarterback for 3 years, right? They had
Jordan Dennis.
Jordan Dennis under center, or back up from the center, but he was there for 3 years. Now, what does that offense look like now without him? And don't get me wrong, South County's perennial power. I'm sure they're reloading.
Yeah, you got Orth at the receiver spot, right? They're going to hit him. They got, Hunter Malecki's playing tight end, right? A little bit tight end. They can hit him. They got other weapons because they're South County, right? I think the key to me of that game is going to be, it's going to be low scoring, right? I shouldn't say it should be. If you're Robinson, it's going to be low scoring. If you're Robinson,
right.
And Robinson's can't have the mistakes on offense. Don't put South County in a short field, right? Just trust your defense, right? And and that's the kind of game that I think Robinson needs. It's that kind of game.
Absolutely. No, I agree.
All right, buddy. I can't wait for that one. Westfield. Oh man, these are two powers right here. Westfield hosting Patriot.
Yeah, I mean, big game. So with Patriot, right? Tyler Newton is the real deal, and Jackson McCarter at running back. I mean, and based on what we've seen, and some of the coaches I think we've talked about Patriot, they said they are the real deal.
Yeah.
And in Westfield, you have Coach Vossler making his debut.
Voss making the debut at home with the
home.
faithful.
Yeah, I mean, but that's gonna that's gonna be a little pressure on him, right? I mean, replacing the legend.
Such a tough game, replacing a legend, tough game at home, even more pressure at home. I always like going on the road in some of these games. Road Warriors, a little bit less pressure on the kids, sometimes. It's tough. But Westfield's got its studs. It's got, Duda at quarterback. It's got some of those guys. It's going to unveil the new offense, the brand new car coming out, taking the car for a spin.
Right. Well, I mean, they got Lucas. They got Cofield on defense. So, they've got some defenders out there who can defend it.
Yeah.
And what you have, right, is two traditional powers in both regions. And it might be one of the better regional matchups for cross regional matchups of the week, at least. If we were saying what's a cross regional matchup of the week, it might be this.
What you mean best of one region versus best of another region?
Top ones.
Yeah. I would probably agree with you. That's like I said, that's like Phantom Fireworks, buddy. That looks like it's gonna be a fireworks show. Right. It's gonna be a fireworks show, man. I can't wait for this.
I'm curious if Patriot's gonna travel well for this. Now, my understanding is that Patriot, that they have really, really good transport.
I was telling you.
Well, that's where I heard it from. That's where I heard it from you.
When we won the state title in lacrosse, we played them. I think to be state qualifier, or was it to get in the state championship? It was one of the two. I forget. We lost to them in the regular season. Man, those fans came all the way out to Woodson, and they were loud. Kudos to you, Patriot fans. They were loud. As a Woodson fan for that game, it's a compliment to the other fans. They were obnoxious, but that's a compliment.
Right?
Because we were losing. We were losing. These guys stink.
You are a Raider. You are a Raider fan, and you do love obnoxious fans.
I do. I appreciate obnoxiousness, and I appreciated their obnoxiousness. Now they were, and they won that game, and we got passing them on the way out of our own stadium. They made it known that they won. They came to our place and won. Yeah. But we saw them again in the state playoffs and at their place, and we beat them.
Yeah.
We were a little obnoxious on the way out. But that's all revenge. The fun, right?
Revenge is a dish best served cold, correct?
Yes, that's right. That's right. But no, they do travel well, and they're going to be there. They're going to have their cowbells and all that stuff. And the Westfield. At one point it was the biggest. It probably still is the biggest high school in Ferris County or Virginia. It was one of the two. And
as far as size goes.
Yeah, for non-secondary.
Yeah.
Because it's 9 through 12, obviously. It's not 7 to 12.
Oh, yeah.
For non-secondary. It was up there. And so, which means at one point, this is not that long ago either. It was also probably one of the more packed stadiums, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sure Patriots coming into a hostile territory, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. So let's see what we got next. Scrolling down. Another one that a lot of people are deeming game of the week, and I wouldn't fault them if they did. Hayfield hosting West Springfield, my friend.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So I will say that it's an easy one to name this one the game of the week, right? I went on the limb just because I like the matchup with the rivalry matchup, but here comes the Hayfield Hawks, led by Jeffrey Overton Jr., right?
Right. Marshall Falk, greatest show on turf, being led by
greatest
Marshall.
Show on turf,
right?
Yeah. So the expectations are state championship. It is state championship or bust for that team.
That is true. It's a lot of pressure.
With Juju out there, with Juju and those guys for the last few years haven't lost a game.
Yeah.
They haven't lost a game since they were freshmen. Sometime in the playoffs, I think they got eliminated, right? Their freshman year, I think they got eliminated.
Yeah.
That's a long time for not losing. Same thing for Coach Overton at Freedom.
Now let me say this though. This is where the big boys play. We're bringing it back now. You ain't playing Cardinal anymore.
Yeah.
Playing Patriot now, buddy. You ain't playing. Yeah. And God bless the Cardinal. God bless the Cardinal. Yes. This ain't the Cardinal. You're playing the Patriot now. And West Springfield, they were gunning for a Patriot title this year. They're one of the top teams in that conference.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They've got a high flying offense.
They got Walrath at quarterback. They got the all-star running back, and was it White? Right. You got receivers. You got a defense. I mean, you got a veteran coach. You got a coaching staff that you just brought in, young guys that came over from Fairfax. Right. That everyone respects. They're not playing pushovers. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely not. This is not the Hayfield team they played last year. So, I mean, last year they were
right.
And they're at West Springfield. This is at home against the big dog. I mean, this is the marquee matchup. If you really, I mean, you have the reigning state offensive player of the year versus the reigning region player of the year in white.
That's
right?
true.
Right?
That's true.
You know, you have a big marquee matchup. This is another game where you could see some fireworks, right? You could see quite a bit of points.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this game you might bet the over. I think you probably bet the over, right? We going down to the high school MGM fake casino.
Take that money, take that Monopoly money to the fake casino. Take all your orange $500 bills and your blue $15 bills and whatever other Monopoly money there is. And I think the over is solid. I think that's solid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be a good. I can't wait for that one. I can't. We know people. I think the great Carl Frederick, Nova's Adam Schefter. I think he's going to be there.
He will be.
Yeah, he will.
He'll be live tweeting the game too.
Hey,
right?
I think he'll be live.
And you can read his article that the next weekend on Nova High School Sports, NovaHSSports.com. His article will be on there for us.
Nova HS
also,
baby.
Look out for our Twitter because we will be live tweeting or not live, but we tweeting a lot of scores during the game.
Yeah. Live tweeting is the games we're at, and then also putting out scores of other games in between that because we know that it's so hard to find the scores of games. And all that stuff.
It's awful.
You can't find it, and this is what inspired the freaking show to begin with, right?
Yes.
You couldn't find that stuff. And we were shocked. You and I talking about it. You come over here from California, and you're like, what the hell's wrong with your town, buddy? I'm like, what do you mean? There's a lot of things wrong with this town. And you're like, well, they're like, sports is a big deal here. There's a lot of people here. There's a lot of money here. What's going on? And over the last 4 or 5 years, you and I have kind of remorphed, and this conversation turned into this, finally.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Like, someone need to get those scores out, and the people are hungry for it, and we're going to try and give it to them.
So hopefully you're following us. Hopefully you're looking at us. If you got a score, freaking tweet at us. We'll turn around and we'll retweet your tweet.
We will retweet. If you give us give us a real score. Don't, so and so is winning at 85,000-0. None of that. But but if you're at a game and you're a fan of one of these teams on the slate that we're about to say, let us know. We'll retweet it.
Absolutely. Because we are of the people. I think we say all the time, but we're the people's champ.
We really are.
All respect to Rocky Maivia.
God bless Rocky Maivia.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson, but Rocky Maivia. We are of the people. We are.
But yeah, for sure. Let us know. We're going to retweet those scores out there. All right, next game, buddy. Another good one, man. And this is kind of low key. This we're talking about the other ones were, possible state contenders in the other games.
Mm-hmm.
This one maybe not, state contenders, but key teams that you and I talked about, dark horses. So you got Langley is hosting Oakton. Langley hosting Oakton. Tell me about it. What do you think?
So I thought Langley was good in their scrimmages. They have Ronskowitz running back, and I think he's the real deal. I mean, the stuff I saw him doing, he looks like the real deal to me.
Yeah.
And I do like, and I know, Coach Dash, you love the multiple offense.
Yeah, I do.
When teams are multiple, and Langley is a multiple offense. They go spread, and then they go double wing, and they go spread, and then they go double wing.
Yes.
So and those kids have been going through a pretty rough time, and I'm sure they're pretty inspired. I think they're past it a little bit. They've had some chance to move on from it, but and I know. It hurts your heart to say being a Woodson alum, but you like the Oakton Cougars.
Yeah, look, I like what Coach Slay's doing over there. I think, Coach, you and I talk about this a lot. For teams out there that have struggled and have kind of gone through it or going through it, either one, seeing, again, outside looking in, that's all we can talk about. But Coach Slay looks like he's doing all the right things.
Yeah, I agree.
Pushing all the right buttons.
Build an identity, right? That's what you say all the time.
Building an identity.
Build an identity.
The kids, are getting hyped and pumped about playing for him, for representing the Oakton colors. I think he's doing all for everything we're hearing and everything we've seen so far in the scrimmages. He's doing the right things, and I like it. I like it. Again, I'm going to keep saying this. Kudos to Oakton admin for making that a solid hire. Now talk about Langley. Don't forget the quarterback. You got Sandberg. Guy's a stud. I mean, people say he could be a state player of the year contender. People love this kid. So you got Sandberg, you got Roskovitz, you got young Thomas Gill, a tight end, a big tight end, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, what did they call the Cowboys back in the day? The three-peats?
Triplets.
You had Troy Aikman, Sandberg, Emmett Smith, Roskovitz, and they had Michael Irvin, but I was going to say, who was the other guy?
Oh, it was Jay Novacek.
Jay Novacek. We just said the quad.
Jay
Novacek. That's Thomas Gill right here. Now, who's going to step up and be that Michael Irvin on that team?
Right.
We got to find out. Now, as far as Oakton goes, love the running game. They're going to come right at Langley and take it to him. The quarterback, though, the young quarterback, hopefully he can kind of getting his feet wet now. This is his first varsity action. And then the defense. I love the Oakton defense. That's what I like, actually, a lot.
Well, Oakton really opened that passing game, too.
They did in the last scrimmage, yeah.
And so we'd seen the kid last year live, but that Dalen Jones is he can strike anywhere on the field. I mean that kid got the ball against Rockridge and he was gone.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think that's going to complement what they're trying to do in their run game. And a kid like that, when you have to start playing the run, when you start bringing all those guys forward to play the run, a kid like that, lanky, can run. Ooh, that may be some issues.
No, you're right about that. This is going to be fun. That's going to be a fun one. And again, it's not on everyone's radar. But it's kind of that dark horse, game that it could be game of the week. No one saw coming.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I agree.
All right. And the last of the marquee matchups, Madison hosting Stonebridge. Man, talk about it.
So we don't know a lot about Stonebridge. It's not our wheelhouse yet. Hopefully, we can start looking at that sometime soon. My guess is probably be until about next year when hopefully we get this thing run a little better. But Stonebridge, state power, right? Yeah. Stonebridge can play with anybody.
Perennial.
Yeah. And kudos to Madison, right? You don't have to take this game. This is not a game that you have to take, right?
Yeah.
But Madison being led by Nicely, right?
Yeah.
He's one of the more explosive. We talked about the West Springfield and Hayfield game with those two running backs. Let's not leave out Dominic Nicely.
Yeah, nice.
He is nice, isn't he?
He is nice.
Explosive back going to Coastal.
Coastal Carolina. That's right.
Coastal Carolina. That should pretty good as well. And Madison's known for playing tough, hard-nosed defense.
Tough defense, physical team.
But Stonebridge has that brand new coach, right? We talked about Vossler.
Yeah, Mickey Thompson, I thought retired. I believe he.
Yeah. So
that was the talk of the offseason, at least.
Yeah, they have him following them. So, what do you think? I mean, I know you know about the Madison area, and know a little about them. So.
Yeah, I mean, quarterback, you got Yates over a good football family over there at Madison. You're bringing back the veteran quarterback, you got the veteran running back, you got a physical defense. I think they're bringing back their entire defense almost.
They're bringing back their entire defense. That's huge. Right. That's huge.
Jeez, man. That's a tough team. You're going to need all those guys against that Stonebridge offense, though.
Yeah.
You love that Stonebridge offense.
Yeah. I mean, that's so
you don't like it. You don't like it under gun, though. You don't like it in gun.
No. And Stonebridge runs some single wing stuff, right? If I'm not mistaken, they run some single wing stuff out there. I mean,
yeah.
And what I saw them now I happened to be able to watch a little bit of their scrimmage versus Yorktown.
Yeah.
And they were in a 50. They were in a 5-man front, which I don't think not a lot of teams run. Now were they running that because of who they were playing with Yorktown?
Right.
Although Yorktown was in the gun.
I wonder this.
But go ahead. No, I was gonna say last year's game was 28-24. I mean, it was a close game between those two, and I'd imagine probably more of the same, right?
Yeah, and the other thing that I wonder about, again, not knowing a lot about Stonebridge, obviously, and some of the Loudon, we'll do more, especially the new Stonebridge is what I'm referring to, with Coach Thompson gone. If he is indeed gone, because there was a report, and I guess we can look this up on the Google machine, but there was a report last offseason, this past spring, early summer, spring, that he was leaving because they put the job up. Then they came out, and I know Loudoun County Sports on Twitter tweeted about this. They came out and said, no, that was an error. He's retiring from the day job, so they have to they got to put the job up, but even though he's staying. And then later on, like 2 weeks later, I thought, or a month later, they said, no, he is retiring, he is leaving. So, again, we're not covering Loudon.
Kedrick got Golston.
There we go.
So he former Redskin.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Former, that's right. So he did end up leaving.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Right? Are they going to go to something new? Are they going to stay?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of the theme of a lot of these programs we've been talking about over the last few weeks, right? Do they bring in something new, or do they keep doing what was tried and true?
Right. Yeah. Right. Do you bring your own? Coach Foster, very similar situation, right?
To Coach Blair Robinson, to Coach Foster at Westfield. That's what you see a lot of, right? Do teams try something else, or do they kind of stick with what was new and what was old and what worked?
Right. Should be a good one.
Yeah, for sure. And the last one, and I think I might did I write this backwards? I think Wakefield's hosting. So
Wakefield is hosting.
So Wakefield hosting Fairfax. Now, like about this, a few things. One, you got a new coach over at Wakefield. Second year, but he's new, right? 2 years is new, and he's still kind of doing things, and he's turning things around. They had a great showing at the scrimmage last week.
Yeah,
they had a great. Yeah. About one report was 39-6, and I know it's a scrimmage and all that, but coach is really turning things around over there. Kids are starting to buy in, right?
Yeah.
They have the quarterback, Pincharo. I think I'm saying that wrong, but I think from all reports he's going to do well. And then you got Fairfax, a team that is region or bust. You and I have talked about this. Senior quarterback who's a stud. Running Ethan Lynch, our highlight player of the week.
Yeah.
He might be the highlight player of this week too, man. He keeps running like Marshawn Lynch. Fairfax is loaded. So you got the upstarts in Wakefield kind of coming up, starting to kind of get a little confidence, a little swagger to them. And then you got Fairfax with the mean machine of Fairfax kind of coming to town. So that should be a fun one in my book.
Yeah, no, I think so. And it's going to be exciting to see because there's a brand new Fairfax team, right? New quarterback, new running back.
Yep.
I think new receivers. So, it's going to be interesting to see what Coach Taylor does to mesh these guys together.
Yeah, buddy. I can't wait for that one too, man. I'll keep an eye on that one.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go up the list here. Now we're going to kind of do our little primer, my friend. We're going to do a little primer here, like the old band, Primus. We're going to do a little primer. Oh, we need a little rock and roll, right? A little Primus.
Is this our what does Chris Vernon do on the Monday Night Football?
That's right. The fastest 3 minutes in television. Yes, sir. I like that. We need the NFL Thomas music in the background.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd put it on, but then YouTube would suspend us. So I can't do that. All right. Battlefield hosting C.D. Hilton. Coach Van Acker making the big debut, my friend.
Yeah, and what was formerly a pretty big rivalry. Coach Van Acker, though, talks about how he upset Hilton his first year at Battlefield. So maybe he's trying to redo that. But, Battlefield is really good. It's really good. Division I guys all over the place.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing the debut of Van Acker at Hilton. We know he's doing great things over there.
Yeah.
The old ball coach, and then obviously Battlefield to State Power. It should be a fun one. All right, we got Colgan hosting Lake Braddock, another state contender right there. Actually, those two teams, Battlefield and Braddock, are two of our main man Carl Frederick's state predictions right there.
Yeah. And last year the Colgan Braddock game was pretty close for a while.
Yes, it was.
It
was a one game and a half. It was 20-19 at halftime.
Yeah, and I think that Coach Doc was not too pleased with his performance at Garfield. There's no disrespect to Garfield, but I think that Braddock has some pretty high aspirations, and so we'll see if they're able to right the ship. Not right the ship, but we'll see if they're able to get themselves in the position that I think we both feel that they're going to be late in the season.
I mean, yeah. I mean, people were predicting state title, so you know there's certain expectations with that, right? And then it's a long trip. The first thing I think about, you know, maybe cruddy weather, maybe not. You know, in a long drive from Colgan all the way to Braddock. No, other way around.
Yeah,
Braddock to Colgan, still a long drive and traffic and everything else. That could be an hour and a half. So you know, you got some cramping up a little bit. You know, the bus shows up. You know, you're all discombobulated. I just hate those kind of trips. All right. Here's an interesting one. Mountain View at Forest Park.
I mean, neither one of us know very much about either one of those schools. I mean,
well, we know Forest Park. If you want to en quatre. Listen here, buddy. You want to run the ball? Forest Park's your team. You like watching running football?
Yeah.
Forest Park's your team, my friend.
And our understanding is that Mountain View is a pretty good team out there in Stafford, and Forest Park has got tough team. Forest Park. Oh, that's right. Forest Park has a 2 Division I offensive lineman, right?
You want to run the ball?
Yeah. For some reason, it left me for a second, but
there you
go.
I remember. Yeah, you love running the ball. You love freaking pounding that rock. Look, if you like watching running football, that's your game.
Yeah, absolutely. Game.
All right, Freedom South Riding hosting Light Ridge. We saw Light Ridge a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean they got that dynamic receiver, right? Should be pretty. And Freedom South Riding, you know, trying to figure
up
things
and coming.
out there.
Yeah, up and coming.
And
so is Light Ridge. That should be a fun game of 2 teams that are kind of up and coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Gainesville hosting Potomac. Gainesville hosting Potomac.
And another team, right? That we've got reports for that Gainesville looks like they're getting ready for a state title, right?
Yeah. There were some reports that people saw Gainesville playing Herndon last week. I heard reports that people thought Gainesville was freaking San Diego State Aztecs for a second when they walked off that bus. You know what I'm saying?
They have that Kilmer kid at quarterback. He's pretty good. And then they've got that running back and Coven Smith.
Yeah,
he the Syracuse kid, right? I believe it's Syracuse.
Yeah. He's a stud, and their quarterback's a stud.
Oh, you saw Coven Smith live and in color, right? When you were still coaching youth football, right?
So funny story. I remember, you know, he's only a year younger than my son. So, and by the way, sporting the W&J, the president, Washington Jefferson Presidents, my man, alma mater of who? The great Roger Goodell.
Roger Goodell.
Yeah, buddy.
I wonder if I was booing you right now.
Nah, the most loved man in sports entertainment, my friend. And coached by the great Coach Sirianni. So there you go. W&J, baby. W&J. I got to plug that. But I did. So coaching my son's team years ago in youth. They're only a year apart. And I remember it's like ankle biters or maybe like the 75-pound division. But you know, we were playing against the fast kid from Gainesville. That's all we knew, right? And his name back then. We you know, we're maniacs, right? We're scouting. You're scouting 7-year-old game. And we had film. We had to trade with. You traded with the coaches, right? They traded with the coaches. They had film. And I'm like this, and he would score touchdowns, and he would do like the chest out, like he's winning a race whenever he was scoring. And defense came up with that game. We had like they wanted to go outside. It was you know, pitch right, pitch left, youth league. Low, young level youth league. And I think the defense we came up with for that one was like a 3-8 defense.
3-8.
And by the way, and he still got around us every time. He tore us up, man. The kid's a stud. What can you say?
Yeah.
All right, next one. We got Osborne hosting South Lakes. You were impressed with South Lakes last week, my friend.
Yeah. When I watched the scrimmage, I mean, they still look really explosive on offense. So it'll be exciting to see them. I mean, they can definitely get the ball down the field. I'll tell you, they can. Offensively, they looked really impressive. I thought they looked really good.
Well, kudos to them. I mean, if they can fit up and keep the momentum going 2 years in a row, that's going to say a lot about them and the coaching staff.
Yeah.
All right, Osborne Park hosting Manassas Park, the Battle of the Parks, my friend. South Park.
Are they both Cedar Run? Are they both Cedar Run?
No, not Manassas Park.
Oh, Manassas Park. Osborne Park is.
Osborne Park. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Battle of the Parks. Osborne Park kind of rebuilt, right?
Yeah, and Coach Holland making his debut for
Yeah.
Osborne Park. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him. We're rooting for Osborne Park in that, and Manassas Park too. Don't know much about Manassas Park, but we spoke to Osborne Park and some of those guys, and hoping for the best. Hoping for the best.
Right. Yeah.
All right, Unity Reed hosting Garfield.
Yeah. I mean, I really liked. I mean, I
like Garfield a lot, buddy.
I've been pretty impressed with Garfield in the couple times I've seen him.
Yes.
I really like that running back Jackson. Herman Jackson looks really good. Their quarterback Hamlin looks really good. So I think that last year they were able to handle pretty well. We'll see what things look like in this year. You never know.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I keep hearing about Herman Jackson from you, from Carl Frederick. I'm expecting big things from young Herman Jackson. I think we could be hearing paging Mr. Herman. Mr. Herman, you have a telephone. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Herman Jackson this year, buddy.
Yeah.
I've been dying to get my Pee Wee Herman reference in. All right. We got Colonial Forge hosting AC. Remember the Titans, my friend.
Yeah, AC had a really good performance against Justice, and then I did not get to see their. I saw some highlights of the other one, and they look impressive. I mean, it looks like and when AC's rolling, right? You're from around the area. When AC's got together, like they're pretty formidable.
Yeah. You were impressed with their last scrimmage, so that's good.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Should be if AC kind of gets going, like you said, a couple of years ago they had that stud running back. They had some weapons.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can kind of get back. They had a tough year last year. Hopefully it was a rebuild year. Now they're getting back to playing Titans football.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got Annandale hosted Marshall.
Yeah, I like Marshall a lot. And we've heard really good things about the Annandale running back.
That the young Christian Okoye, my friend.
Yeah. So it should be pretty good in run game. But Marshall looks really good. I'm curious to see. Let's see if Annandale. I think we talked before of let's hope that Annandale football is returning to form.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see them return to form, but
pound the rock. Pound that rock. They have a good quarterback, good young quarterback at Annandale too.
Yeah. But I'm a sucker for the option football and Marshall.
You love Marshall. You love Marshall.
I do. I'm a sucker for that. So yeah.
All right. Next up, we got Falls Church hosting Chantilly, another team that you like.
Yeah, I mean,
and you like Falls Church a lot too, actually.
I do. I like what Coach Coogan's doing over there. And then you've got the quarterback at Chantilly that you like a lot.
Man. He's killing it.
Mantry.
He's killing it. He had a great preseason.
And the coach we talked to can't say enough good things about him, right?
High praise from the Braddock coaches, especially.
Yeah.
You get praise from, that's not the Little Sisters of the Poor. You're talking about the Lake Braddock, one of the premier programs in this area, and they're praising this kid. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on that one. I'm going to see what Chantilly can do. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, we got Lewis hosting Parkview. So Parkview not really in our purview, but Lewis is.
Yeah. I haven't really got a chance to see Lewis so far this year. But this will be. I think it's a good matchup for him, right? I mean, it's a chance to really get out the gates last year.
Yeah.
In fact, how did they do last year? Let's where are you at?
We talked about when we talked about the national and that division kind of very even. A lot of the teams, the bottom half of that division kind of, one team would beat one team would beat the other. There's a lot of parity. My guess was they were like, was it 2 or 3? It was maybe 3 and 7. I'm making that up. I don't know. It's 3 or 4 wins, I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Survey says. I'm doing my best. Ray Combs here.
They were 3 and 7, and it was a barn burner. 41-30 was that game.
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking game of the week. Maybe we don't know.
Game of the week.
No,
I mean exciting football, right? We all want to see exciting football.
Yeah. And Coach Choate is doing a good thing over there. He's trying to turn things around, so that should be a fun one.
Yeah.
All right, another good one here. Kind of under the radar, maybe. We'll see, but Just is hosting Herndon.
Yeah, and I think Justin had a surprising performance last week in their scrimmage.
They did. He said they hung in there pretty good.
Yeah, but Herndon, right? They're looking for a region title. I mean, they're pretty senior heavy. I mean, this is a big year for them. You know, they've what is their next progression for them, right?
Right. Yeah, it's region or bust, right? For some, I mean, some think that about Herndon, and it very well could be. They're bringing back a lot of senior heavy team, but man, that team, and they run an offense I know you like, right?
Yeah,
good coaching staff. This is a big year. I expect Herndon to come out scoring some points.
Yeah, should be good. But I'm pulling for those Justice kids, man. The higher coach. Let's hope they're able to build off the success they had last week in the scrimmage.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. All right. Next one, Meridian hosting McLean. So that was going to be in Falls Church City.
Yeah, with the good old double wing, right, with Meridian. It is a ground to pound for them. And McLean's look pretty good. I think McLean's look pretty good. It's not a very far drive from them too, right?
No, that's actually a close game.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd imagine those kids probably know each other, right? This might be a little bit of a rivalry. I'd imagine they probably see each other quite a bit. I mean, they may have gone maybe not because Meridian is in Fall Street City schools, but I'm sure they probably run the same.
Maybe in youth league, they might have known each other from youth league or some of the students.
Yeah, but I mean, exciting game, and preparing for that double wing is never easy.
And then McLean is also kind of I don't say prove it year. But they had a historic season last year.
Yeah.
Right? And they're kind of coming to say, all right, how about us? About us. Don't forget about us.
And are they playing three-dimensional chess getting ready for Langley? Because this is a team that runs that wing offense. This is their chance to be like, all right, let's figure out what we can do against it.
Right. That's a good point.
Thinking 2 steps ahead.
Yeah. No, good coaching staff, so they probably are thinking 2 steps ahead.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got here.
Yorktown and Woodson.
Hosting your Woodson Cavaliers, my friend.
What are you thinking about there?
I'm going to be at that game. And Yorktown's not hosting it. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that, but Woodson's hosting.
Yeah.
Hope I didn't say all of these backwards because of that. I just read it off the list here. There's a chance I did. And if I did, just flip everything that I said, guys. But no, Woodson is hosting, unveiling the new track.
Yeah.
A new track. It's going to be an interesting one. I mean, we already talked about the coaching situation, right?
Yeah.
At Yorktown, I think I read today, Coach Hansen is 4 wins away from 300 victories.
Ooh, wow,
that's impressive.
What a career, right?
Wow, I should look it up. What's the all-time record in Virginia?
Yeah, it's got to be.
I mean, it's got to be up there. 300.
Oh yeah.
So you got that going on. You got Yorktown bringing in, the 2 tight ends. Yeah. I mean, we're going to call them, we're going to call one Brock Bowers and the other one Gronkowski. I mean, these 2 guys are just.
Yeah.
You got quarterback who's getting, Division I looks, trying to get offers. They're bringing back a lot of the team at Yorktown with a great coaching staff. That's going to be a tough, formidable team. In the Liberty this year, as they always are in the Liberty, right?
For a young Woodson team, right? For a really young Woodson team.
Young Woodson team, new coach, new head coach. And normally when we say new with every other situation here, we're referring to new as in they started in February.
Not 72 hours.
Yeah, not 1 day ago. So new coach, so you got some adversity there. But luckily he's been around the block. He's been there, Coach Pilson. Yeah. And he was there already, so he's not like coming in new. But you and I've been talking about it. Run the ball. You got Gabe Castro. We think he was the best player on that scrimmage last week.
Yeah,
right. We love Gabe Castro, right?
Yeah.
And Pilson will have him right. He'll have him right and ready.
Yeah, I think so too. Right. And close game last year, right? 1-score game.
Yeah, 1-score game last year. Came down to the end.
1-score game.
All right, buddy. So, and one more that we don't want to forget about. You got W&L and Edison. That's actually a rated matchup too, there, buddy.
Yeah, I think so. Right, you have 2 teams coming off pretty historic seasons, right, between the 2 teams.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a question of who's able to continue on, right?
Yeah. I mean, W&L, great season last year, like you said, historic. I mean, all time great season, and then Edison also all time great season. You nailed it. You had they beat Hayfield for the first time in by our mathematics, first time ever, maybe, as some say.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get any more historic than that. This should be kind of a 2 kind of, I don't want to say sleeper teams, so they had great years last year, maybe two teams that some people are overlooking.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I might be overlooking these two teams. They can make some noise.
Yeah, I think WL is very much in the South Lakes category.
Right? Yeah.
You lost a lot of seniors. Let's see how they do this year. So
right. Yeah, don't sleep on those two teams. Man, that's the slate, buddy. And we might have, it might be a game or two that wasn't on our list. Because to our point, information is hard to find.
Yes.
On any of this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to dig for hours to find this information.
I was Indiana Jones going into the cave,
into the temple,
getting and as I was running information, I was getting chased by the natives shooting blow darts on me. I had some yelling to dash to start the plane,
and then they almost ripped your heart out. Oh, that was part 2. That was Temple of Doom.
That's part 2.
But I'm not. I'm really excited. I'm hoping that the stupid hot weather goes away, and all of a sudden, which I know this is not going to happen, but then like a cold front moves in Thursday evening, and it gets a little crisp, around 55 degrees. People are eating hot chocolate and apple cider, and that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping happens. Instead, it'll probably be pouring, and we're going to be holding an umbrella, just miserable in the rain.
About 85 degrees, 95% humidity.
Right. A hot rain. But that's what summer is, man. That's what summer is sometimes. We'll be looking on this fondly in about 2 months.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this slate of games, I got to ask you, because here we are, my friend. Give me an upset. Give me an upset, baby. What's the upset special? Mesa's walking in. Mesa's putting in all his pennies. Big bag of pennies.
Give me an upset.
You put your pennies on the counter, and you said, I'm going to put it all on this one. Tell me who it is.
Give me an upset.
Give me a calzone. Oh, come on, give me.
I don't know, because the games we picked from, I don't think there is an upset between the two. And in the other games, do you have one?
Well, I was just going to boo you first and say boo, but because you weren't giving me one. But I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. I'm not calling it an upset per se. All right, because you know how I do. I'll cheat the whole upset thing, and I'll pick a favorite and call it my upset game. But I got my eye on a couple. All right, and I think one to keep your eye on. By the way, who won the Mount Vernon Westpo game last year?
Westpo. They came back 1914.
I'm going Mount Vernon in the upset game. Now I know you wouldn't call it an upset.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's really an upset.
Hang on, I'm going to break it down to you why it is an upset. Why some people might think it is, but I'm not. I'm going Mount Vernon. People, it's just overall the stronger conference. It's the Patriot conference, right? I mean, historically, it's a stronger conference. And I mean, Westpo made a bunch of noise in that conference. Playoff team that came a hair from winning the first round. Right? Bringing back a lot of those guys, if not all of those guys. I'm making a case for Westpo right now. I don't know. But so Westpo is solid as a rock. We know that. Yeah. But Mount Vernon, I like the quarterback, like the receiver, like the big playability of Mount Vernon. Yeah. So I am going with Mount Vernon in the upset game.
You want to take based on nothing? Give me Freedom South Riding. Give me freedom. Give me freedom or give me death.
Yeah, buddy. Is that really an upset? You son of a gun. I think you're cheating the system here.
Give me freedom or give me death.
Is it an upset? It could be an upset. What was could be an upset. I like mine better, but it could be an upset. All right,
I'll tell you what the score is.
We're gonna keep tell me who won that one last year. Survey says.
Just a second here. Last year they won 33-0.
I told you. Look at that. My memory's good. Okay, so there you go. So that's an upset then. In 1 year to flip that around in a year, that would be impressive.
Luckily for us, allowing people to listen to this thing, so my guess is no one's going to hear it.
I'm going to hold you to it. We're going to tabulate these records by the end of the season, find out who is the prognosticator of prognosticators. Who is, who's Phil? Who's the groundhog?
Yeah.
All right. Well, buddy, exciting day, exciting time going over these games. Can't wait for Thursday night. We also have a big interview coming up. Big interview.
Yeah.
Talk about that with George Mason's coach.
Well, with George Mason's head coach. We have an article out and with Coach Raff and raffle, excuse me, and it'll be exciting to talk to him. And there may be some news on that front as far as George Mason football involving yourself. But we'll see. We'll see what that goes.
Yeah. It's an exciting interview. We've talked about this before. George Mason is the only college football in Northern Virginia, which makes no sense to me, but it is, right?
With a lot of Virginia kids too on this team.
Right.
Lots of Virginia kids on this team, right?
Yeah, tons. Even and guys who could have played, collegiate football loaded on that team. It's one of those things where even if you consider, some people don't, and people are snobs about the cutoffs and all that kind of stuff, and you and I may or may not be snobs about the cutoff of where Nova ends and other areas begin. But regardless, Fredericksburg, right? Some people might call that Nova, some people might not. Despite that, Mary Wash doesn't even have a football team.
Right.
Even if you counted Fredericksburg, that's this college here that might have a Division III football team. They don't have one. So there isn't college football. So there is now. George Mason's club team
Mason football. Yeah.
It's a fun day for the family. You come out, you don't need to spend $1 gazillion like you would at FedEx fees. I'm not getting paid either for saying this, by the way. This is just I'm just being honest.
You are a proud Mason alum.
I'm a Mason alum, 2 degrees, may I say. 2 degrees. That's where my Mason. And actually, they have Mason football shirts. I'm going to get a Mason football shirt, buddy. You know what? I'm psyched about the program. They played in the club national championship about 2 or 3 years ago. Coach Henderson ran 3 years ago. Coach Henderson ran the offense. They played against Ohio State's club team. Now, that's a big deal because a school like Ohio State, you can only imagine the monsters on their club team.
Yeah, absolutely.
That big, right? So, fun for the whole family. You go there, you get a hot dog, you get some popcorn, you get a big foam finger that says we're number one on it. You watch the games with the family free. I think I made that up, but I think it's free. It might not be free, but it probably is free. You just have a good time, just a good quality time, right? Clean, wholesome time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So George Mason football. That's our interview with Coach Raffle coming up. We're going to put that up on the pod soon, so everyone kind of enjoy that and learn a little bit about your only college football in Nova. Right
there, you go.
There it is. Well, my friend, can't wait to see you on Thursday. Talk about the games, and then we'll do our pod to come out this weekend with all the highlights.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exciting,
buddy.
Exciting time. Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, it's been fun, guys, and thanks for tuning in. One last time, subscribe. Am I right?
Yeah. Get us to that 125. We're trying to get to 125. Right.
Subscribe, baby.
25 next. Yeah.
If you're already subscribed, send it to a friend. Send it to a grandparent. Send it to an uncle. Send it to an aunt. Send it to whoever. Right?
Yes. Absolutely.
Subscribe.
Make up fake accounts.
Make up accounts. Whatever it takes. Just do that. Okay?
Yeah.
Because everybody loves football. It's not America's pastime. It's America's passion.
There you go.
Passion. All right. That was Howie Long who said that. That was Howie Long. All right, folks. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Yeah. See you next time.